Black True Crime is a podcast that researches and discusses murders committed by Black offenders. It is a podcast that anyone and everyone is welcome to enjoy, but it may not be enjoyed by anyone and everyone, so listener discretion is advised. Now, without further ado, this is Black True Crime.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Kristen.
And welcome to Black True Crime.
Period.
If this is your first time here at the show, welcome and hello.
Hi.
Well, just a little disclaimer. If you're on Patreon or watching this clip on YouTube, I look like someone beat me up and I paid them to do it. I've gone through a lot in the last couple days, but, you know, we're here and we made it. And yeah, I'm excited about today's case.
Let's get into it.
Okay. Oh, before I start, actually, when we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we will be doing a giveaway, $100. So that's really dope. And we're actually, as of recording this episode, we're 4 subscribers away. So the sooner you guys subscribe, the sooner we can do this giveaway. And just to qualify for it, all you have to do is be a subscriber on YouTube. So search us at Black True Crime Podcast. It'll be in the episode description for this episode. And yeah, I want to do it this week. So the sooner you guys go and subscribe, the sooner I'll pick somebody. And we're actually going to do it on live on our Instagram. So make sure you subscribe to our Instagram too, so you can get news about that.
Period.
Yeah, this is our first cash giveaway, so I'm excited.
You guys should definitely subscribe.
Mm-hmm. And what can you do with $100? Put some gas in your tank, because recession is,
mad gas. That's 2 full tanks of my gas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so are you guys ready to get started?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto? If you have, you know the goal is to essentially cause as much mayhem as possible to earn as many points as possible, which includes punching characters in the face, running them over, or even just ending their lives completely. Well, could you imagine doing something like that in real life? Violently taking lives and then asking afterward, how many did I kill? Join us as we discuss the astute but unstable Priscilla Ford. So, Priscilla Ford was born on February 10th, 1929 in Beryl Springs, Michigan. Kristen, what happened in Black True Crime in, what year did I say? 1929. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this year was so full. There is so much stuff that went down in 1929 and so much stuff that happened after 1929. For those of us who don't know, or for those of us who are not really from America and don't know a lot of U.S. history, the Great Depression actually started in 1929. And everybody knows that the Great Depression was because of the stock market crashing, right? Mm-hmm. And one of those days where the stock market literally, I think it said 16 million shares were actually sold in a single day on the New York Stock Exchange. That day was called Black Tuesday, and it was October 29th, 1929.
Oh, wow.
From there, everything just spiraled downwards. And of course, everyone was affected. Black, white, yellow, purple, Spanish. It doesn't matter. But let's just say Black people were the most affected, period. Mm-hmm. And what they came up with a saying that says, last hired, first fired. Because Black people were the last ones hired into these companies to work, but they were the first fired when the Great Depression started. So therefore, they were basically asked out. They didn't have a lot of public assistance. Back then, public assistance programs were early on, and they were basically putting white people first, of course, and we're giving them more assistance, significantly more assistance than Black people. Right. There were even some soup kitchens that would not open up their kitchen to Black people during this time. Yeah.
Where is the surprise?
Right. But the good thing about our Black folks, man.
Tell me about us, Kristen.
We didn't let that stop us. Matter of fact, we saw that as a time to enact change, period. We're not about to be out here on these streets poor. We're about to get up and do something. So What happened also in 1930s, was Black people took accountability for their own livelihood, and they banded together and they created organizations. One of the organizations that was created during this time was the National Negro Congress, and that was actually created in 1936. Another thing that happened in 1929, we all know that most Black people are Democrats, right? And we wonder, like, where is that from? Well, it kind of stems from the 1928 election. And I totally want to get into it with you guys, but I'm just going to have to save it for TikTok. So if you want to know how Black people, or a majority of Black people, became Democrats, how it all started, definitely check out our TikTok. I will be definitely posting this one within the week.
Yes, I need to know, because I was actually titillating.
It really
Thank you. Thank you, sister, for that trip down history lane.
Yeah.
Okay, so Priscilla Ford was born on February 10th, 1929 in Michigan. I couldn't find too much about her upbringing, but Priscilla did at least graduate high school. Good for her. I know that she was married at least twice, and she had 2 sons and a daughter out of those relationships. So there they are. And you can see her sons, they graduated too. So, you know.
Aww.
In 1957, at the age of 28, and with only a high school education, Priscilla was able to get a job as a teacher in a one-room house in Dowagiac, Michigan. And apart from being underqualified, Priscilla was also the first Black teacher in the area. So,
wow.
Pretty dope.
Okay, kudos, Priscilla.
Exactly. So the school board was super skeptical about if she could even do the job, you know, properly.
Shade.
Thank you. This was the same year that she actually shot her then husband and then shot herself. Yeah, so she tried to kill him. Well, she did actually. She did kill him. He's dead, unfortunately, I guess. But according to her, it was self-defense. And they really couldn't, at the time, prove it to be anything other than that. So no charges were filed against her.
Okay.
But yeah, she attempted suicide, I guess. If that's, you know, if her story's true.
Yeah.
Priscilla. Right. Scary. It must have been like a very violent, abusive relationship.
Yeah. I mean, granted, when I look at her, I think she's shot her husband before. She's not afraid to put her hands on her man.
Yeah. It's giving domestic violence, but possibly in both ways, you know?
Yes. Facts.
From both parties. But any reservations the school officials had about Priscilla soon dwindled, because after a short time, all of the officials were gassing her and saying how amazing and caring she was with her students.
Okay, Priscilla.
You know.
Show out.
I like that they're giving credit where credit is due.
I wonder why they're giving credit. Like, I wonder, maybe the parents were like saying, yo, love her.
It had to be very obvious for people to really be vocal about their, you know, positive feelings for her. She also earned a bachelor's degree in education in 1966, and she kept that teacher job for 7 years.
Wow, I'm here for her. Gross.
And she's doing the doggone thing. Not to mention her IQ was 140. Which classifies, I was about to say, which classifies as literally 1 point over, and she'd be in the genius category. So,
wow,
it's giving. But only 4 years later, people close to Priscilla started to notice a very bizarre change in her behavior. Priscilla started claiming that she could see her dead husband across the street from where she was now living in Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
And she also claimed that she had the soul of Adam and Jesus Christ.
Well.
Okay? So we took a very crazy turn.
Priscilla,
please. Get it together. So, in 1972, Priscilla's son came back from a deployment with the Army and even noticed himself that his mother was behaving in a delusional manner and that she was now abusing alcohol. So, she was an alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah. The following year, Priscilla was in Reno, Nevada, and at this time, she voluntarily checked herself into the Nevada Mental Health Institute, where she received a diagnosis of passive-aggressive personality with hysterical episodes. So she received
aggressive personality. I feel like half of the world will be diagnosed with that.
Kristen, thank you. But we're going to get into like a textbook definition of it because I was like, what is this? But she received treatment for that diagnosis and then she was released. So like I said, we're going to look into a little bit about what it actually means. Even back then and now, it kind of means similar things. So according to the book, Massachusetts General Comprehensive Hospital Clinical Psychiatry, quote, the major feature of passive-aggressive personality disorder is passive resistance to authority figures and to any request for adequate performance. So basically, like if there's anything expected of them, they violently go against it.
So where's the passive part?
Well, okay. So afflicted patients fail to ask important questions concerning adequate performance expectations and become sullen or argumentative if those expectations arise. So basically, I think the passive part is like, if I don't know what I need to do better,
then I won't do
can't
it.
Technically be expected to do better.
I see.
Terrible.
I'm cracking up. Sounds lazy to me.
It sounds like a little bit of narcissism is involved, and as I read more and more into it, there is. So
I feel like passive aggressive personality is just rebellious. Like,
I feel like passive aggressive personality is just a teenager.
right. Like, who doesn't want to do what they don't want to do, period.
Well, unfortunately, we have seen and talked about on the show how undiagnosed and untreated mental health issues can lead, you know, to more instances of breaking the law. Yeah. And that's no different in this situation. Just a year after being treated in a facility, Priscilla was arrested for trespassing and assault and was again mentally evaluated. I don't know who she put her hands on. I was about to say. She put her hands on. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was doggone the Pope, because Priscilla is not giving all the way there right now. Okay. I don't think she ever will, but I have some comments about that later.
Well, I just feel like there's a very, very, very thin line between genius and crazy person. So I can't all the way be mad at her, just like I'm not all the way mad at Kanye for his craziness.
No. People are enabling him, but I digress.